Hi everybody, this is Crystal. So today I'm going to show you how to make this super easy, cute little girl's bag here. So it's all single crochet, braided handle. It's really easy. I got this key ring at a little craft shop here in my town. So, but you can use any type of key ring. You could add buttons or whatever you want to do for a little bitty girl. So, but it's really easy. It'd be great for a beginner. So it's got the braided handle. So I'm going to set it to the side. For this project I used Peaches and Cream, which is a 100% cotton yarn. Now you don't have to use cotton yarn. I used it because it's a little bit stronger. You can use acrylic, but make sure it's a 4-ply or a 4-weight yarn. That's what I used. The color that I used is called Psychedelic. Of course you can use any color that you want. And there are 95 yards in this skein, and I still have a little under half left. So I mean, one skein will be enough to make that little girl's bag. And then I used a size I, which is a 5.5mm crochet hook. Okay, you want to start off with the chain of 40, and it's actually worked in any number of stitches, so you can start off with however big or long of a chain that you want. But I start off with the chain of 40, and now you want to follow your chain down without twisting it and slip stitch into the first stitch to form a ring. Like that. And then we're going to chain 1, and now we're going to go right back into that same stitch that we slip stitched into and single crochet. And now I'm going to work 1 single crochet in every stitch all the way around until I get back to the beginning. Sorry, my yarn's tangled up over there. So just like this, 1 single every stitch all the way around until you get right back over here. Okay, once you make it back around, you should have a total of 40 stitches. Now if you look, this is how big the bag will be. This is the bottom, and later we'll sew it together. So if you don't think that's big enough for your little girl, you can just do any number of chains and make it as big as you want. So this was a chain of 40 that we did. So when you make it back around at the end of round 1, you should have 40 single crochets. Now you're going to need some type of stitch marker. I'm going to use this piece of yarn here. Big old thick piece. That's the only one I can find. But now we're going to be working in single crochet rounds. So it's actually really easy. We're just going to jump to the next stitch. Not the chain 1 that we did, but this first single crochet. And we're going to single crochet into it. Like that. And now I'm going to work again for round 2, 1 single crochet in every stitch until I make it back to my stitch marker. Just like that. Okay, I've made it all around again to my stitch marker, and you should have 40 stitches again at the end of round 2. Go ahead and move your stitch marker up, and we'll just continue around again, putting 1 single crochet in every stitch all the way around. So it's real easy. All this is going to be rounds of 1 single crochet in every stitch. And once you get back to your stitch marker, you just move your marker up, and you should always have a total of 40 stitches when you make it back to your stitch marker. And we're going to keep doing this until we get the bag as tall as we want it to be. So we're working on round 3 now. 1 single crochet every stitch till you get to your stitch marker. Move your marker up, 40 stitches total, and continue around again. And we're just going to keep doing rounds of single crochet. Okay, I've done a total of 14 rounds altogether from round 1. Of course, you can do more if you want. What I'm going to do is now is make a space to attach the handle. So I've made it back to my stitch marker, and I still have my 40 stitches. So I'm going to have to move my stitch marker up. Now what I'm going to do is chain 1, and I'm going to skip 1 and single crochet in the next. So I chain 1, skip this one, and single crochet into the next. And I'm going to single crochet into the next 19 stitches, counting this one. So that'd be 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there's 19 single crochets in a row, counting that very first one we did. Now what we're going to do is we're going to chain 1 again, skip 1, and single crochet into the next. And now counting this one, you should have 19 that remain until you get to your stitch marker. Alright, back to my stitch marker. And now you'll have a total of 38 stitches. And that's not counting these chain spaces. So we're going to go ahead and move our stitch marker up. And now I'm going to go ahead and work 1 single crochet in every stitch. And I'm going to start by putting 1 single crochet into this very first chain space. So go right into the space, single crochet. And now continue working 1 single crochet in every stitch around until you get to your next chain space. Okay, I'm coming up on my next chain 1 space. See it right here. Go ahead and go right through that chain space and single crochet. And then continue single crocheting. 1 single crochet in every stitch. Make sure you get this very first one here. Now you want to do this until you get back to your stitch marker. This is round 16 that we're on. And when you get back around to the stitch marker, you should have your 40 stitches total again. Okay, once you make it back to your stitch marker, go ahead and pull that stitch marker out because we're not going to need it anymore. And go ahead and slip stitch into your next stitch. And then you can tie this off, clip your yarn, and go ahead and hide that tail real quick. And then we'll get started on the handles. Okay, for the handles, I took 9 pieces of yarn and I cut them probably about 2 feet. Now what I want to do is find my little openings here, my little chain spaces, and I want to put all 9 of those through. So I'm going to put my hook through that chain space and pull them all through. Make sure you get them all like that. Now I'm going to tie a knot with this part here on the outside. Leave a little bit hanging if you want. Just go like that one time. And there we go. And you can cut that off as long as you want. Now what I'm going to do is take it and I'm going to braid this handle. So you need something to set on this so it doesn't move. I got a laptop here. Sit down on here. And while it's attached there, I'm going to take it and braid it. So I'm going to separate it in groups of three pieces of yarn per group. And I'm just going to do a regular braid. Just like you normally braid. And that's going to be my handle. So I'm going to do this until I get my handle as long as I want it to be. And then I'll put it through the hole on the other side. You could always make this thicker than 9 pieces of yarn. That's completely up to you. It does start to get tangled up at the bottom. I was never really good at braiding. So my braid job's probably not that good. Okay, I'm going to check it out now. Leave it, you want to leave some left so you can pull it through the other side. Yeah, it's probably about pretty good. I might go just a couple more little braids here. Oh, sorry about that. Remember, you can do yours just, you could have cut your pieces longer than 2 feet. That's if you want a really long handle, but okay. Once you get it all braided, now I'm going to take these loose ends. I'm not going to knot it yet. I'm going to pull it through the chain space on the other side. So let me fix my camera here. So I'm going to find that chain space right there. Pull all these through. And pull the braid back out. And now I'm going to put a knot up close to the braid, I guess. Make sure you get all your pieces through. Put that right at the end of the braid, the knot. Like that. And there you have a little handle. Now you cut these off any length that you want. And now we'll go ahead and sew the bottom up real quick. Okay, you want to take your bag, you want to make sure that it's facing right like this, so the handles are, you know, you don't want to sew it together like that or anything, but lay it where the handles are, the knots are on the sides like they're supposed to be, and we're just going to slip stitch it together. So go ahead and flip it upside down. Take your yarn and just grab a stitch here and grab a stitch on the other side and pull your yarn through. Chain 1. Now I'm going to go to the next stitch on this side and the next stitch on the other side and slip stitch. And I'm going to do this all the way down. Grab a stitch here and then the next stitch on the opposite side, slip stitch. Stitch here, same stitch on the opposite side, and slip stitch. So it's that easy. Just slip stitching it right together. Just do this all the way until you get the whole bottom closed up. If you prefer to sew it, that would work too. And then when you make it all the way to the end, tie it off, hide that tail, and then you'll be done. So I'm going to go ahead and hide these tails real quick. Okay, once you get all your tails hidden, that's it. I had this key ring that I bought at a local little craft shop here in my town. So I just stuck that on there. You can stick any kinds of beads or buttons, or I thought it'd be cute to have a little fridge hanging from the bottom. Anything like that, you know, just for a little girl would like. So that's it. That's all there is to it. Really easy, cute little girl's bag. I hope you enjoy my tutorial. Please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Don't forget to check me out on Facebook, where you can post all your crochet items on there. And until next time, have a good day.